Okay, let's proceed to the inverse variation. When we talk about inverse variation, it tells, or it is defined as a relationship, okay, between two quantities wherein as one increases, other one decreases. Likewise, when one decreases, the other increases. So compared to the direct variation, in direct variation, if one increases, the other also increases. If one decreases, on the other hand, if one decreases, the other also decreases. So baliktad naman sa inverse. If one increases, the other variable decreases. Or if one variable decreases, the other one increases. So merong reverse in terms of changing the value. Talks about the two quantities. Kapag tumaas yung isa, bababa yung isa. Kapag bumaba naman yung isa, tataas naman yung isa. Okay? So there is an example here wherein it talks about the time. Okay? Will you please see that example of an inverse variation, Mary?
The time it takes to finish a task and the number of people working illustrates an inverse variation. Since the time needed increases, fewer people are working and decreases if more people are working.
Ayan. Let's say, for example, if more people is working, so it is done, or the work done at a lesser time. On the other hand, if fewer people are working, so it takes time. It takes more time to finish a certain task. So that is the relationship between the number of people compared to the time. Now let's move on to the equation of an inverse variation. Will you please read the statement about the equation of the inverse variation? Ayan. So same idea in finding the equation of the direct. In inverse variation, there are also statements that we can check if the given variation is a direct or an inverse. Okay? So in the inverse variation, there is also an equation. Okay? So it is a mathematical sentence or statement that describes the relationship between two quantities. Okay? So wherein there is an inverse proportion, or they are inversely proportional. So the statement is that if y varies inversely as x, it is written as y is equal to k over x. So that is the statement. Okay? Where k is the constant. So same variable din ang ginagamit natin to determine the constant. K stands for the constant. Okay? So there are two equations na po pwede na nating magamit upang to find out the value of the constant. Okay, meron ulit tayong gagamiting formula or equation. Okay? In order to find the constant, there are two equations. Okay, meron tayong dalawa pero isa lang nandito eh. Pero pwede ko namang ibigay sa inyo yung isa pang equation. Okay? So the term is that y varies inversely as x. So in symbol, it is written as y varies, sorry, ang pangit. So y varies inversely as x. So y symbol tapos 1 over x. That is the symbol for inverse variation. So if you are going to write this into an equation, it is written as y is equal to k over x. Okay? So that is one equation. One equation wherein there is an inverse variation. If y varies inversely as x, it is written as y is equal to k over x. Okay, yung direct ay y is equal to kx. So, dito naman, y is equal to k over x. Or, it can be written as k is equal to x times y. Okay, so in order to find the value of the constant, you're going to multiply the variables. So dito, in finding the constant, you're going to multiply the variables. Okay? Now, let us take an example. Yan, ito yung example natin. Will you please read the example, Samantha? Samantha, will you please read the example?
Sir, if y varies inversely as x, y is equals to 8 when x is equals to 3, what is the equation of variation?
Okay, in our example, we are going to find the equation. Okay, so we have the general form y is equal to k over x, or k is equal to x times y. Either of the two pwede nyo gamitin in order to find the value of the variable, or the constants, rather, the constant. Kasi before you formulate the equation of the variation, the inverse variation, you have to find first the constant. Okay? So, same thing lang na ginagawa natin sa direct variation. First, formulate the general form. O, ito yung general form natin. And then, find the constant. Okay? Hahanapin natin yung constant. To find the constant, you are going to substitute the value of the variables. The variables x and y. Okay? So, using y is equal to k over x, what is the value of y? So, y is equal to 8. And k is unknown. Yun nga hinahanap natin. K over, what is the value of x? The value of x variable is 3. Kaya k or 8 is equal to k over 3. Okay? And then cross multiply. So, k times 1, that is k. So, k times 1, that is k, is equal to 8 times 3, that is 24. So, the value of constant is 24. Okay? Or, you can use the other, which is k is equal to x times y. So, k is equal to, what is x? X is 3, times, what is y? Y is 8. So, k is equal to 24. So, same result lang. Pwede kayong mamili kung ano gusto nyo. Y is equal to k over x, or k is equal to x times y. Okay? Now, after finding the value of the constant, we will now substitute to the equation. So, syempre, dito na tayo sa una, which is y is equal to k over x, kasi yun naman talaga yung original eh. Okay? So, substitute natin yung value of k. So, our equation now is y is equal to, what is k? 24 over x. So, this is our equation. So, the equation is y is equal to 24 over x. Let's proceed to another example. In this example, meron nang nawawala na variable. Okay. Our question is, find z when x is 21. So, parang yung example natin sa direct, meron nang nawawalang variable. Kaya lang, in this case, it is an inverse variation. Okay? So, same thing lang. You are going to find the equation of the variation. Let us translate the statement. So, ang translation ng statement ay madali lang. So, kung ano yung unang binanggit, that is z. Since it is varies inversely, so it is an inverse variation. So, z varies inversely as x. So, z symbol 1 over x. So, to translate this, it is translated as z is equal to k over x. Okay, so the other one, to find the constant, k is equal to x times z. Okay, now let us identify first the value of the variables. So, in this problem, we have two sets. Okay, so the first set is x is equal to 14 Ay, sorry. So the first set is x is equal to 14 and z is equal to 9. So we have x sub 1 and z sub 1. Okay? And the other set is x is equal to 21 and z is unknown. So x sub 2, z sub 2. Okay? Normally, kapag may nawawalang variable, laging may two sets yan. Inverse, or direct. Okay? So, laging may nawawala. And there are two sets. Now, first, you're going to find the constant in order to formulate the equation. Okay, hanapin natin yung constant. So, to find the constant, you're going to substitute the value of the variables in the first set. Kasi yun yung kumpleto eh. Yung pangalawang set, hindi siya kumpleto, kulang nga eh, nawawala nga yung isa. Yun nga yung hinahanap natin eh. Okay? So, K, using the formula K is equal to X times Z. Okay? What is X? X is 14 times 9. And then 14 times 9, that is 126. Tama ba ako? 126. Am I right? 126. 14 times 9 is 126. Okay? Now, so let us formulate the equation using the z is equal to k over x. So the equation is z is equal to, what is k? K is 126 over x. Yan. After finding the equation, we can now find the unknown variable, which is the z sub 2. Okay, hahanapin na natin yung nawawala. Using this equation, z is equal to 126 over x. Okay? In what way? By substitution. You are going to substitute the value of the second set variable. Ano lang naman meron doon? Yung x. So, let us find the value of z. Okay? So, z is equal to, what is x sub 2? So, substitute natin yung x sub 2. That is 126 over 21. So, this is z, ha? Baka sabihin nyo 2 yan, diyan 2. Okay? 126 divided by 21. Okay, so the value of the unknown variable is 6. Okay? So, ang nawawala natin ay 6. To check, analyze muna natin kung nagbago ba siya. Kung ang pagbabago ba ay same with the concept of inverse variation. Okay, observe natin yung x variables. Yung x sub 1 is 14, yung x sub 2 is 21. So, tumaas yung variable. Tama? From 14, naging 21. So, dapat yung z variable, bababa. From 9, naging 6. So, bumaba ba siya? So, bumaba naman. So, meaning to say, it is an inverse variation. So, bumaba siya. Okay, kasi tumaas yung x natin, siyempre, bababa yung z natin. Tama? So, ganun ang concept ng inverse variation. One variable increases, the other variables decreases, or variable decreases. Okay, kung naintindihan na, okay, thank you very much for attending my class and listening. I hope you learn a lot.